Hey friends, it's Thursday again. Hi. I'm working on my mic placement. I used to only have one book under it. Now I have three. Lately it was like two. Now I'm up to three books under my mic. I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, I'm just trying to make sure I'm loud enough. I hope everyone's doing okay. I'm going to talk today about people who I work with who don't feel good enough to be spiritual, or they don't think their spiritual experiences are good enough, or that only certain people get to have certain kinds of spiritual experiences. It seems to be something that is coming up a lot when I work with people who've seen interviews with me on YouTube, especially Wisdom from North, who I love and adore. I I and or any of the interviews, honestly, it starts to kind of feel like um there's like a competition thing happening. I'm not saying that it's like people don't feel good enough. They're like, you had this, I want to have this, I don't get to have it. I don't know why I'm not having that kind of spiritual experience. And then, or they're like, all these people come on these shows and they look like they know what they're talking about. And it's just like, it starts to feel really hierarchical. Um, and I don't think it's supposed to be that way. I think everyone has the right spiritual experiences for them. And the main thing is the love. That's why I love that, like, if you speak in the tongues of angels, but you don't have love, it's like no point to it. And I just think like if you can focus on the love and like your own heart's connection to source, the creator, um, you have the right spiritual experiences that you're meant to have. And I think when we get competitive about it or thinking that we're not good enough, it really is our childhood training taking over. That's not divine reality. It's like, um, we're all beautiful and equal in the eyes of the creator. I totally believe that because I saw it. But in school it was like we had to get the best, we had to get straight A's, like who's doing the right thing, who's getting the teacher's accolades. And I think that sometimes it seems like it's kind of crossing over into the spiritual world. And I mean, that's a bummer, but I think it's very human. And I think it's something that we can all work on deconstructing and kind of taking apart for ourselves. I have been in healer spaces where I feel like people are like, I do this is my healing modality. Look how cool I am. And I'm not saying they're doing that on purpose. It's the vibe sometimes. And then I get intimidated and I'm like, I just saw a light and I don't really know. um, but I think it's that same like Western, like kind of capitalist framework, like check, check, check. Look at all this cool stuff I have. Here you go. Here's my resume. And it happens in the healing world too. And I think that's just really human, but I think we can move beyond it. I work on moving beyond it, um, because we are all good enough. We are all spiritual naturally. There's not like some people are more tuned into God than others. I think some people listen more, or I think some people have different kinds of experiences, but like your own heart's experience with God, the creator source, is like beautiful. And like God loves you just as much as God loves me. I don't know why I saw that stuff. I think it's just part of my soul path. But like, if I'm being honest here, you guys know, like, I talk a lot about how I have psychic dreams that are just about my friends. And like, I go to spiritual spaces and they're like, tell us about aliens or tell us about the future. Like, what did you see? And I'm like, I don't see that stuff. I mean, if I see it, it's not very much or just a little bit. So I even feel like I'm sometimes like, well, a little boring. And I think that's the point. I've had to accept that, like, that's my path. Like, I've had some spiritual experiences. My journey is to be a little more relatable, I think. I don't know. That's what I've decided. And I don't have like big dreams about the disasters or anything. But people are asking me, and I'm like, okay, I'll try. I'm going to try. See if I can feel it to like tell you what disasters are coming. But I don't. I don't. I just like dream that my friend is getting a raise and then he got a raise. Like that is not what people want to hear about anyway. But anyway, we're all kind of in our own journeys with that, and I also am also on that journey. So just know that your spiritual experience is beautiful. It's not supposed to be any different than it already is. Some people see more things than others. Some people feel more things than others. Like some people get completely healed, or some people, there's just so many different ways that we can connect to source, but the love is the most important thing. Feeling how loved you are. And then I think your gifts open from there. and everyone has gifts that are just right for them. You know, one of my best gifts is like the work I do with kids. I love doing that. I'm pretty good at it. And that's not like me having psychic dreams. That's just like me being present with the kids I work with or the readings I do. Um, I think though, if you're like really longing to connect more spiritually and you really want to have like a big spiritual experience, you can like meditate, you can tune in and like I only had my spiritual experience because I was trying to feel my heart and really focused on trying to feel what was under my heart, like what was underneath all of the stuff that had been put on top of it from my life. And then I got to like the inside of it and it was like God. um, but I think that that's not funny. I don't know why I laughed. It just feels like kind of a big deal, but it was like, oh, like that was what was under there. And I don't know why I saw the things that I saw. I guess like everyone has different soul paths, and I think some of us are supposed to teach like or talk about things, and other people experience other things, but no one's better or worse than another person in the spiritual world in the eyes of the creator. That's from what I've seen and feel. But so your spiritual experiences are going to be perfect for you. You can definitely work on opening it up more by connecting to your heart, but also know that like there's so many beautiful ways to be spiritual. Like my mom, one of her biggest ways is that she does like amazing prayers. I feel like her prayers are super powerful. She has a really strong prayer practice. She's praying all the time. And like I've seen like major outcomes from her prayers. But I don't think she like, well, I think she has a lot of spiritual experiences too. I just think it runs on that side of the family. But um I don't know. I don't want you to feel like your spiritual experience isn't good enough because it's just right for you. And you can work on opening it more. And I don't know why some people have a big NDE or STE, spiritually transformative experience, and some people don't. I don't know. I mean, I know that like a huge part of my healing journey is to be loving myself, like in front of other people, because that was like the opposite of my trauma, which was like being like traumatized publicly. Now I'm like loving myself publicly and sharing, which is like the whole purpose of my spiritual experience. I think that's the only reason why I had it was like, now you can go talk about it and love yourself. And it's less about like the spiritual stuff than it is about me loving myself in front of other people and like opening myself up to being, I don't know, loving myself and sharing. I don't know. I don't know. I think some people are just have a spiritual experience that's really big, and some people have gradual, slow ones. I don't understand it. I'm super curious. Maybe it's a soul contract thing, like a pre-birth planning thing. But some people do talk about like that everyone's going to awaken and there's this great awakening, this solar flash. I don't know. Like, would love your thoughts in the comments. If that happens, everyone's just going to start having like spiritual abilities and experiences. So I haven't had any downloads about a big solar flash or any dreams about it. Sorry, guys. Anyway, would love your thoughts and what any of your spiritual experiences. Are you wishing that you had a bigger spiritual experience, or are you cool with what you've had already? I just think there's so many ways to approach spirituality and like spiritual gifts and approach like awakening. And I really do believe everyone has the perfect experience for them. Even though when mine happened, it was confusing. It was exactly what it needed to be, and it was exactly right for my life. So anyway, any thoughts? Would love to hear. I love y'all a lot, and I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.